Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 876-922-4112. Good afternoon to Arnett Morgan. I believe Arnett is in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Good afternoon to you. Or perhaps we should greet you en français. Bonjour or bon après-midi. Bienvenue, Arnett. Comment allez-vous? How are you? Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Harlem Uptown. Good afternoon to you too. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Good afternoon, Faye Weller and Norman Hines reconnecting with us as well here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. To MH in Albion, St. Thomas. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I want to say a big thank you for your daily reminder. Do you know where your children are? I hope parents are taking note. Keep up the good work. Good afternoon to you and all Jamaica. Blessed love. MH, Albion, St. Thomas. Thank you very much, MH in Albion, St. Thomas, for your message. Hello to Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. She has shared with us a story from the Gleaner. She says, good afternoon, Sir Ambassador Malcolm. Hope all is well. Here is a story that warms my heart. Portland students excel in CSEC despite challenges. And she is from Portland, as I remember it, so I can well understand the pride and joy that she feels, so much so that she has sent us a link to the story. Portland students excel in CSEC despite challenges. And let's see how much of it we can give to you on the request of Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. Two students of Titchfield High School, Ariel Wright and Riami Richards, are the top performing girl and boy, respectively, in the Caribbean Education Secondary Certificate CSEC examinations. Both students said they had to overcome a lot of challenges, especially due to closure of school and doing online classes. They informed that there were times when they came under immense pressure during the lockdown periods, as they were unable to see all their classmates, engage in social gathering, chit-chat, or to spend quality time on the phone. But overcoming it all, Wright got 9 distinctions in 9 subjects, including additional mathematics, biology, chemistry, English language A, information technology, mathematics, physics, principles of accounts, and principles of business. She said that she was grateful for the 3-week extension, which allowed her to better prepare for the exams. Preparing for CSEC had its challenges. It's a 2-year preparation, and in the middle of that preparation came a pandemic. The whole dynamic of school had changed. Things were now online, and I had to adjust my way of learning, Wright said. The internet would sometimes go, and I would have to ask my dad for data. Any concepts missed, I would have to ask friends for the notes and try to understand. The teachers weren't just a walk to the staff room. The teachers weren't just a walk to the staff room away anymore, but they were still very helpful. They would respond on Google Meet or via WhatsApp message. It was just a bit delayed because they had to help other students too. Honestly, though, once I got used to being online, I started making the best of the platform, despite the challenges. I had to come to terms with this new reality and just make the best of it. And it was really grateful for the and was really grateful for the 3-week extension, which gave me more time to prepare, she added. Principal of Titchfield High School, Richard Thompson, said the students or the success of Wright and Richards comes as no surprise, as they have always exhibited good mannerism, patience, tolerance, and leadership qualities, which made it rather easy for them to perform at the highest standard in their exams. Richards, who gained 7 distinctions in biology, chemistry, English A, electrical installation, information technology, mathematics, and physics, along with a 2 in additional mathematics, also faced challenges which led to periods of frustration due to prolonged lockdowns. Classwork and assignments was a challenge, and I had to balance that with extracurricular activities just before COVID 19, he said. During COVID 19, online schooling was definitely a challenge for me. I was getting frustrated being alone for 7 hours a day nonstop. I had red, itchy eyes as well as headaches, and my mental health was affected. I wasn't going outside, and I hadn't seen my classmates in about 2 years. It was a very life changing experience. It was very hard to complete classwork, especially labs, school based assessment for science subjects. Labs are actually technically supposed to be done in the physical space. I did, however, complete my labs and assignments. I believe that I overcame this challenge by scheduling my time and balancing work and play, he said. And that's the article. Thank you very much, Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois, for bringing to the fore this story of the outstanding Titchfield High School students. Thank you very much for your message. Continuing with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. Hello again, Norman Hines. Hi to Bijou in New York. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for keeping in touch. Asha Ash says, Mr. Dervan can't get you on YouTube or Facebook. Try again, Asha Ash. Try again. There was a bit of technicality earlier on, and that resulted in you're being kicked off the system, but you can rejoin us as you're able to. Asha Ash in London. Thank you very much for reconnecting with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Here's another message, this one from Spider. He says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. If I have a friend who has a car, the friend takes the car to the car wash and gets it cleaned, gets cleaned the car thoroughly and cleans the car. I'm trying to dance between some of these. I'm sure it's because you're trying to get the message to us quickly, so there are errors, and we're trying to make sense of some of the errors. All right, so let's try again. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. If I have a friend who has a car, the friend takes the car to the car wash and gets it cleaned, and cleans the car thoroughly. Then he goes home without the car. Then when he gets home, his family asks him, where is the car? He told his family that he got rid of the car. He didn't sell the car or give it away, and it was not stolen from him either, but he can't tell what happened to the car. Would you find that strange? Well, Obviously, uh, I'm not sure what you're alluding to, Spider, but that's that seems quite a bizarre story. But thanks anyway. Thank you for sharing. Let's continue your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5.
Jamaica Annual Business Conference, October 6, 2022, under the theme Sustaining Your Future with Integrity. Come for a remarkable conference experience and hear local and international presenters speak on issues affecting businesses, navigating the effects of the pandemic and other global disruptions. Contact ICAJ at 876-929-5869 or 876-929-6082 or log on to icaj.org for registration and more details. The Caribbean Maritime University, an ISO certified institution, offers Bachelor of Science degrees in cruise shipping, Bachelor of Engineering degrees, logistics, marine tourism, port management, security administration and management, and more. For further information, call 876-924-8150, 876-924-8175, or email info@cmu.edu.jm.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. Lynn E on YouTube says, Hi, Dervan. Good afternoon. Please stay dry. It sounds like it's wet on the outside. As you know, Lin E, we can't see outside. So we don't know, as my late mother would say, we don't know what o'clock a strike outside. Uh, but is it that it's raining where you are? Or you suspect that it's also raining where we are? You can fill us in as soon as you're able to say. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott, East Central St. Andrew. Good to have you on board. Sharon Richards says, Pleasant afternoon, Sir Malcolm, and all listeners out there. Blessings to you too, Sharon Richards. Asher Ash says, Hi, Mr. Dervan, back with you. Good to have you back with us online. Asher Ash, always good to have you on board. Both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. And just in case we needed another reminder again about this period, once we hit September and invariably stretching into October, we have uh, to deal with all kinds of unstable weather conditions, whether they be tropical depressions that later become tropical storms and hurricanes. So, for example, on this day in 1844, a hurricane hit western parishes in Jamaica. On this day in 1844, a hurricane hit western parishes here in Jamaica. It happened on this day in 1844. And coming up, we have a scheduled interview with a focus on Oral Health Month. This is Oral Health Month, and we are going to be talking about dental matters in a little while. But let's go back in time. Let's go back to 1864 on this subject. 1864, one of Jamaica's best dentists was born on this day in 1864. One of Jamaica's best dentists was born on this day in 1864. His name, Enos Edgar Clark. In September 1886, Enos Edgar Clark entered the Pennsylvania College of Dental Surgery in Philadelphia. He graduated in March 1888. He returned to Jamaica and started practice in Kingston. His diligence, skill, and kindly courtesy were soon recognized and secured for him a reputation as one of the best dentists in Jamaica. The secret of his success was that he insisted on punctuality and was methodical. When the government placed dentistry in Jamaica on a properly recognized footing by the passing of the dental law, it honored Dr. Clark by appointing him one of the dental board of examiners. He was also a secretary of the Jamaica Dental Association. So this is the story of Enos Edgar Clark as we mark Oral Health Month. It's an appropriate month in which to observe oral health, because this was the day and the month, the day, the month, and the year when one of Jamaica's best dentists was born, Enos Edgar Clark, who in September 1886 entered the Pennsylvania College of Dental Surgery in Philadelphia, graduated in March 1888, returned to Jamaica and started practice in Kingston. And as we shared earlier on, his diligence, skill, and kindly courtesy were soon recognized and secured for him a reputation as one of the best dentists in the island. The secret of his success was that he insisted on punctuality and he was methodical. When the government placed dentistry in Jamaica on a properly recognized footing by the passing of the dental law, it honored Dr. Clark by appointed him on the dental board of examiners. He was appointed to that board. He was also a secretary of the Jamaica Dental Association. So there's another bit of history for you in this Oral Health Month. And just ahead of our scheduled interview in just a moment, we will have that interview for you. In the meantime, let's continue to some more of the history. 1938, tribute was paid to Barrister Norman Manley on this day in 1938 at the official opening of the Guys Hill Community Center in St. Catherine, which was the first of the centers to be built by Jamaica Welfare Limited, which he had established to promote the social, economic, and cultural development of rural communities in Jamaica. Manley was unable to attend as he was involved in a case in court in Clarendon. The ribbon to formally declare the building open was cut by Lindsay Downer, the manager of the Standard Fruit Company. The large crowd from Guys Hill and surrounding districts were entertained by electrical transmissions of gramophone music and by the showing of educational films in the open air. So this was 1938. In fact, every time we drive through Porus in Manchester, invariably our attention is turned to that building on the left, which is one of the community centers built by Norman Manley through Jamaica Welfare Limited, which he established to promote the social, economic, and cultural development of rural communities in Jamaica. And it's despite his best efforts and the best efforts of those who succeeded him, we still are trying to develop rural communities to the point now where we have a Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Fred L. Myers, wine and spirit merchant of Kingston, published the first advertisement in a Jamaican newspaper, which was illustrated by a drawing of a scene by a Jamaican. 1938, that was the year. Fred L. Myers, who was a wine and spirit merchant of Kingston, published the first advertisement in a Jamaican newspaper, which was illustrated by a drawing of a scene by a Jamaican. The artist was Miss E.M. Hogarth and depicted a large cask of rum, Myers rum, of course, in a cane field in which an Englishman and an American line up with others with their cups to collect a drink of the finest. The advertising line was that of people from the world over drinking Myers rum. The concept was an outgrowth of at the time, the then All Jamaica Art Exhibition, when Horace V. Myers offered a special prize for the best painting advertising Jamaican rum. Myers selected Miss Hogarth's painting and others, and at the time made it clear that she would be publishing them in a series. That was 1938. In fact, Myers rum was a very famous product for those who used to follow those movies, the movies around the time. I'm trying to remember the general period, but usually wherever there was a bar, if there was a bar scene, if you looked closely, you would always see Myers rum because it was famous the world over. And not sure the nature and extent of the brand right now because we haven't checked on that. Jamaica International Independence Foreign Song Competition. That's Gary G, who's behind that. Good afternoon to you, Gary G. Thank you very much for keeping in touch with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Lynn E confirms that it's raining on Windsor Avenue in the New Kingston area. Well, we hope you're staying dry, Lynn E. And the Met Office did, in fact, indicate that we would be getting some showers, which we shared on the program at the start. And so those who were paying attention would not be surprised, or perhaps were not surprised, when it started to rain. We're going to another break right here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And when we come back, it will be time for our Oral Health Month feature.
Protecting Jamaica's borders from illicit imports and exports is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and it is time for us to turn the spotlight on Oral Health Month in the month of October. And we're delighted to have joining us the Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Irving Mckenzie. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Mckenzie.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon to you and your listenership.
Thank you.
The entire Jamaica family. Yes.
Thank you very much. Personally, for you, did you set out to become a dentist, or did it just happen? Was it happenstance?
Well, I must say, I really wanted to do medicine.
Oh.
But I went to school to do medicine. But I had an obsession with teeth and how beautiful they look.
Yes.
As I said, I'm always fascinated with the pearly whites.
Yes.
Nice shape and indentation and things. I always say, they inspire work of art and creativity, engineering, design, and even architectural concepts.
Aye. Whoa, that's rich.
Yes.
Right. And for the benefit of those who perhaps are considering going into the field, what would you suggest are the characteristics that they need to exude, and the academic requirements?
Oh, well, currently, let me start from the easier part, the academic requirement.
Yes.
Which is, you need your basic sciences, such as your biological science, like in CAPE, in biology, CAPE 1 and 2, chemistry, physics, and any other science subject. And it can be in maths or physics. And then it's about 3 subjects, and any other subject to get in. Or if you have a first degree in Jamaica, you can go straight. If you're in the United States, you may require to do a pre-dental program or a first degree before getting into dentistry. But in all of the former colonies of England, except for those in the domains like Canada, you may require A-level. You require A-levels to get in. So that is the academic requirement. Now, there's also what I call, when you're doing dentistry, is a love and compassion for humanity, and the whole aspect of possessing and having manual skill and dexterity. So I remember being asked if you can crochet, if you can draw, if you can do things with your hands. And I was wondering, why are they asking me these questions?
I was about to ask that same question.
Because a dentist is not just a healthcare professional. A dentist is like an artist.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
Because dentists should do so much aesthetic and engineering things with their hands.
Yes.
We design crowns and bridges in the mouth. You understand me?
Yes.
We cut cavities, we cut grooves and fissures, and we do all kinds of fancy things. You understand me?
Yes.
And we do fancy with like aesthetic surgery, cosmetic surgery, curative surgical procedures in the mouth. And to know that you're doing all of this by sitting most of the time behind the patient and using a sort of reverse vision. You're using a mirror, a very small mirror, to look into the small cavity. They cause a lot for manual dexterity, which is a must.
Yes.
So there's an art to this to dentistry. And then there's another aspect where we talk about your state of mind and your maturity. Because like in the United States and elsewhere, we are doing what is called now this kind of psychometric evaluation of individuals to see how they relate towards children, the elderly, and and add certain vulnerable individuals.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure that our profession attract those with the moral fortitude and ethical what do you call it now, prowess that we will have within the rank of the dental profession, people who display and exhibit the highest standards of professionalism and ethics. Strong sense of character, which the academic doesn't really say.
Yes.
So to be a dentist is a mouthful.
Pun intended. All right. So how about help us to make the connection. There are some of us who think that, well, as long as we brush our teeth, we're fine. We're good to go. And our dental health is in order.
Okay.
What do you say to that?
What do I say to that?
Yes.
Let me tell you, Dervan, in today's age, we are so busy, so preoccupied going about our various businesses and endeavors. It's about making the dollar. It's about visiting our friends and doing so many things.
Yes.
That we forget to take care of what is most important to us, which is really our health.
Yes.
And our health, I like to say for our listenership, is our most important resource. Everybody likes to be a millionaire. Everybody likes to drive a fancy car. But we can't self-actualize and enjoy the benefits of this beautiful life that God has given, this world that God has given.
If we're in poor health. Yes.
So we want people to focus. Paramount or even most important to all of us is to be healthy. And from time to time you need to do this checklist. What is the status of what's my health status? So where am I really?
Yes.
Some of our colleagues will say, know the numbers. I'm saying, and with all of the dental professionals, I think you can know this because your mouth is intrinsically related to your general health and well-being, and also your happiness.
All right. Can we unpack that? Let's take the first part in terms of the connection, the impact and connection of our oral health to our overall health.
Okay. So we go back to the tooth. The old tooth has nothing but the tooth. Those pearly whites.
Yes.
Covered with enamel. The strongest substance in our body.
Yes.
Stronger than bone. And here's the young men and young women and children and the mothers putting sugar in the baby milk and porridge and begin to sensitize the youngster to a life of dependency almost on sugar. And sugar, refined carbohydrates, so we keep calling free sugar, sugar sweet beverage nothing. The very sticky, it sticks to the surface of your tooth, and we have the bacteria in our mouth, and over time, it begins to destroy that substance, that enamel, if you don't take care of your teeth, right?
Yes.
So you begin to develop cavities. Cavities lead to pain, they lead to some disability because you lose your tooth, right? If you eat and things like you like to, it affects your mental health because your whole concept of self and your self-awareness and your self-confidence and so on.
I remember, stick a pin, remember what you're going to say. I remember being in New York and greeting the daughter of one of our listeners, a little girl. She apparently had just had one of her teeth removed. And I was saying hi to her and she just wouldn't open the mouth at all. And her mother said to me, "Oh, I know why she's not talking to you or why she's not opening her mouth, because she took out a tooth."
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So back to the mouth.
Yes.
So what we're saying, the mouth is that part of the body that has hundreds of thousands of bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
Brushing, flossing, and rinsing your mouth help to reduce the number and levels of bacteria in the mouth. If you don't practice good oral hygiene, then this balance will get out of control, and and then disease will set in. Plus, with the bad habits of the sugar, substance, and frequent snacking and all of these things, are causing to develop cavities and gum disease.
But hold on, stick a pin there. I have to take you up on this one. So you talk about snacking, but we're told on the one hand that snacking is supposed to be a good thing because you over time, as opposed to leaving your tummy empty and then just sit down and gobble down a whole bowl of food, etc.
If you're talking about healthy snacking, like having enough food,
Mm-hmm.
you understand me?
Yes.
And so there's nothing wrong with that.
But even that is problematic. Sorry, Doc. Sorry to interrupt you again. Because there's a sense that we must eat fruits, but then we're told, I guess, like so many other things, everything in moderation. So, for example, I'm told instead of eating one banana, you perhaps should eat a half a banana. Instead of eating a whole orange, eat half of that.
Well, let me say to you, as your listenership, everything in moderation is good.
Right.
But what we want our listenership to understand is that the free sugar is where the problem is.
Free sugar?
The free sugar is when you have that soda,
mm-hmm.
when you have that fruit juice that is supplemented with sugar in it.
Yes.
And when you look at it, if you work out to say a gram of sugar, like a gram of sugar is like 2 or 3 teaspoons, and you begin to read those labels of those fruit juices and others, then you realize when you finish having a drink of your Pepsi and your other things that you may have about 10 or 12 teaspoons of sugar. Now, if I want to get into a little bit of biochemistry and endocrinology, it actually shows, that a lot of sugar, especially like the fructose sugar, the one like corn syrup, it turn off a thing that's called leptin that deals with what is called satiety. So you wonder why a youngster would drink a whole liter of Pepsi and still feel thirsty. Because it shut off that satiety level. So you want to drink more and more. So you're consuming more and more sugar, which is not good for your body. Right?
Yes.
And the frequent snacking with refined carbohydrates and this free sugar will cause a spike in the amount of insulin that is being secreted each time to control this high level of sugar.
Oh.
And after a while, when you talk about developing diabetes, what is taking place? You begin to have this insulin resistance being developed. So you reach a point where your body may not be able to deal with this amount of sugar. Furthermore, we know that with excess sugar, the body converts excess sugar to fat. And then you have the development of a lot of fats and so on. As you get deeper and deeper in the biochemistry and all the sciences, you'll also find that sugar even leads to the development of what is called very, very low density lipids that would stick to the blood vessels and eventually begin to occlude those blood vessels over a period of time, leading to myriads of problems.
Oh, wow.
So there's a whole range of things that free sugar causes. When the best drink in the world is water.
Yes.
You cannot drink a lot of water, your body will slip in and say, no, you feel full, your belly full. You understand me? Yeah. So we're talking about if your child has to drink anything sweet, or you don't encourage, then you should drink it with their meal and at meal time.
Oh.
So you cut out that frequent snacking with the free sugar. So back to the tooth story we started with.
Yes.
If that hard substance can be damaged, right? It makes your teeth a sentinel or a warning thing to say, hey, something is going on around my body. No, because the rest of our organs are capable of repairing themselves,
Yes.
But as you age, so you don't have much problem with those organs in the early stages. But as you age and that reparative abilities of the organ begin to decrease, You have all kind of problems. You have cancer, all kind of different things being developed.
Yes.
When your mouth could have told you so. So we're saying, just like when you go, we want to reconnect the mouth to the rest of the body. So when you go to a general medical examination,
Yes.
it's time your physician and your healthcare provider have the conversation about your oral health.
You know, that's an excellent point, because you're right. We go, you've gone to do a profile, and they checked everything except there was no oral health component.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is where it's saying now. So let us focus on that now. There's a WHO case that actually showing up there about
Yes.
that when your children.
Sorry, can you tell us about that right after the break, please? One moment. Listeners, the month of October is Oral Health Month, and our very special guest is Dr. Irving Mckenzie. He's Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Solved the murder of 9-year-old Gabriel King, who was killed shortly after 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, January 13, 2022. Gabriel was with his mother in a blue SUV. She stopped the potholes and was suddenly hit in the face and dragged from the car. Her assailant drove away with young Gabriel. The SUV was found later on Fairfield Avenue with Gabriel on the back seat. Crime Stop and concerned citizens were offering a total reward of $1 million for information leading to an arrest and charge. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Para 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guest is Dr. Irving Mckenzie. He's a Chief Dental Officer with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and he has helped us to kick off Oral Health Month by virtue of this interview on Both Sides of the Story. And I think you are about to reference the World Health Organization where we had to take the break, Dr. Mckenzie.
Yes. So there's a World Health Organization document 2005 that talks about healthy schools. And it actually shows and empirically demonstrates that poor oral health impacts your child's ability to learn.
What? Tell us more, please.
Okay. What are the major signs and symptoms of poor oral health? The first thing that jump out at people is the cavities. All right?
Yes.
But cavities also are associated with significant pain. And we could bear that in mind.
Yes.
Significant pain. When you think about accessing dental care, let's say if you're living below the poverty line or you don't have it to go to a private dentist or to an area that offer subsidized dental care, and you have to go to the doctor. It means, for many parents, it means that child sitting up at night, crying in pain. What they're losing time for sleep, right? With the toothache, they're losing time for playtime and socializing. In the classroom, it is impeding their ability to concentrate and to focus on what is important. And then spending the time at the dentist to have their oral health problems addressed. The other thing that we do sometimes is that when we look at our mouth, when we're brushing our teeth, we tend to assess our oral health based on what we can see up front.
Yes.
But we can't see the back of our mouth. Right? And what I say to most of my patients, what you don't know can harm you. Now, when you go to the dentist may realize there are other issues taking place in the mouth.
Yes.
Like you have periodontal gum disease, you begin to lose attachment in clinical attachment of the gum to the bone and so on. It begins to decrease.
Whoa.
And it is taking place almost like your bone is dissolving like sugar in a bowl of water. And you're not realizing what is going on because usually it is painless. You're not feeling anything as such. And by the time you recognize what is going on, it may be too late. So we're saying you need to visit your dentist so the dentist can check and see what is going on. There are other problems with oral health, such as like oral cancers, where most persons who are diagnosed with oral cancer are finding out that they have oral cancer when it is too late.
Uh-oh.
Because usually it does not cause significant pain or discomfort. But your dentist, who's an expert in oral health, can tell you that.
Right.
But what we want to do in dentistry, we are not preaching a disease doctrine. We're not trying to frighten people.
Yes.
What we want to say to people, be proud of your mouth, right? Be proud of your mouth because it's important to your general health, well-being, and happiness. You know, we fall in love with a loved one, we hug, we kiss, we visit our grandparents, our loved ones, our friends, we sit down and we want to talk, want to communicate, etc. Your teeth are important to communicating. And as Jamaicans, we like to put on a pot and eat. Not true?
Yes.
What about when you don't have no teeth? And we're trying to tell most people, Jamaica, be proud of your mouth. When you by be proud of your mouth, you won't take yourself on your mouth and go to an illegal dental practitioner to put on fake braces.
Oh, there are those as well? Goodness.
Yes,
That's...
Look here, in Jamaica, it is so prolific that almost all over the country, in cyberspace and elsewhere, you can go get your fashion braces.
Oh, dear.
I want to tell people, your mouth is a very important part.
You can't just take up every and anything and put in there.
And look here, how far it is from your brain. Do you know a little abscess in the mouth can spread straight to the brain, causing all manner of problems? So your mouth is not like your fingernail.
Yes.
Your mouth is a very important organ that is used to do very important function. It's for your nutrition.
Yes.
It is for socializing and communicating. It's for love and be loved. What else is about breathing? You understand?
Yes.
The mouth is an important organ.
Well,
so why are we taking the risk to be putting on, going to people who are not dental surgeons, who are not trained to do what they're supposed to do, doing veneer, doing bleaching, doing all kind of things with our mouth? When you do those things, are piercing your tongue and your lip, you're not proud of that organ. So we're saying, look here, be proud of your mouth for your wellness and happiness. And this is what we want to talk about during Oral Health Month.
Yes.
One thing I want to tell your listenership too, poor oral health is associated with dementia. Poor oral health can lead to all kind of problems. You know, the WHO this year, and we call WHO 75, have looked on chronic non-communicable disease and oral health. So they said, what are some of the risk factors? Let's talk about modifiable risk factors. These are risks that things that you can stop doing, like smoking, drinking alcohol, consuming too much sugars and all of these kind of things. Those risk factors, we call common risk factors, are modifiable. They can lead to significant cardiovascular diseases. They can lead to chronic respiratory diseases, right? They can lead to cancer and other problems. They also lead to dental problems, dental caries, periodontal disease, or what called oral mucosal lesion, all kind of different things. So when people say, look here, just like I'm going out and I have a bath and I grill a groove and I put myself together, my oral health is just as important.
Yes.
So I need to start with a simple thing. Brush your teeth properly twice per day, at least for 2 minutes each time. Brush with a fluoride.
So don't be in a hurry. Some of us just
like you saying both.
Yes.
You saying both brushing and you saying both running.
Yes.
You want to beat his record. You want to do it in less than 10 seconds. No. Remember, we have to clean the debris out of the mouth. The thing that is giving the bacteria all that, you know, we call it wonderful bouquet of food that they can enjoy. We want to deprive those microorganisms from such a healthy diet.
Yes.
They finish with us. We are not healthy at all.
That's right.
So that's what we're saying. So you brush. Don't go to bed without brushing your teeth. Some people are dark because they're stupid and right sweet. You know, I don't want to take the taste out. Let me tell you, you need to go brush your
Yes.
teeth. For the persons who are pregnant, we like to say your oral health is important during your pregnancy. During pregnancy,
Oh, there's a connection there too?
yes,
Goodness.
man, when you have all the hormonal changes, women have a tendency of developing what we call pregnancy granuloma, having bleeding of, I remember, you have the early toxicose or late toxicose where some ladies maybe vomiting and so on, and the acidity of the vomit affects not only the taste in your mouth and your breath, but it also affects your enamels, right?
Yes.
So we are saying if you are pregnant as a lady, you should visit your dentist. Let the dentist see you, talk with your dentist, do your consultation, because it is safe to get dental care during your pregnancy. You can do filling, you can do extraction, you can do cleaning, you can do anything. So don't want you to feel that you're going to hurt your child.
Okay.
So your oral health is important during pregnancy. We want to empower a woman to realize that when the baby is young and on the breast, you should clean the child's mouth too, even if there's no teeth.
Yes.
Use a nice soft rug and thing and be clean. Because children can have some funky breath too.
So how early should you pay attention to the child's oral health?
From day one.
Okay.
From day one. And then you can start visiting the dentist when that first tooth erupt. It is nonsense when you talk about wait until they are 4. No. From the first tooth erupt, you start visiting the dentist, because guess what? It's not just about the child. It's about mother and child. Now, what other problem you can have with oral health? People, you may have herpes infection on your lip, and people kiss your baby. Or you kiss somebody else, you can pass on disease. You have a virus they call Epstein-Barr virus. People kiss one another, it's called the kissing disease. Somebody calls it infectious mononucleosis. So your mouth is important.
That makes kissing sound so bad. Anyway, go ahead.
You can transfer herpes. You can cause infectious mononucleosis. You can cause so many things. So when you take care of your mouth and you have a healthy mouth, when you're in your loved one kissing, oh my goodness, it makes it even more pleasurable.
Yes, indeed.
Your mouth is important, so important to life.
Of course.
So important to life.
Is there?
I don't want nobody to say, don't take no risk with your life. Don't take no risk with your mouth.
Is there a theme? What's the theme for oral health?
Be proud of your mouth. You understand?
That's it?
And,
be proud of your mouth.
And take care of your oral health for your general health, well-being, and happiness.
Okay, nice. All right, so what time is it? All right, we have I don't know how you are for time. We feel a little guilty.
No, I can go straight on, man. I'm yours.
All right. So here's the thing now. When we talk about, it's one thing to talk about the oral health of those of us who are hale and hearty and so on. Let's talk about our senior citizens, the elderly, and how we should, those of us who are, if they need assistance, how we should help them, and how they should take care of themselves as they age.
Well, I can tell you now that following the lead of the WHO and our own Mona Institute of Aging, right, Professor
Eldermeyer Shearer,
that talks about oral health, also very good for the elderly.
Yes.
We are very consistent on our topic about healthy aging and your oral health. Just to share with you that there's a WHO collaborating center in Japan called the University of Niigata. They have done some very, very good research, and Japan had what is called the Japanese 80-20 plan, which refers to that they want, as you age, that you'll be maintaining most of your functional dentition. So they say even up to the age of 80, you should still have 20 functional teeth. What that shows is that by working on our elderly, learn to realize that your teeth are for life. They're not things they decide you don't want to have them tomorrow. They are for life.
Right.
They are for eating. And remember, nutrition is the least prescribed medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So as you eat healthily, your teeth is very important that nutritional mixture. Your teeth is very important. So you eat. So you're eating for good health.
Yes.
So your teeth is part of that. One of the things you find out with the elderly too as you get older is the whole desire for community, the whole desire to sit and talk with their loved ones, the families and friends. And you want to go to your grandparents, how you're doing, and they're very involved. The other aspect is breathing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're breathing is so fundamental to life, like eating, not true?
Yes.
You didn't think about it. But when you don't have teeth in your
Hold on. Don't move.
Yes.
One moment, please. Let's take the break and come back. Listeners, if you're just tuning in, this is Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. The month of October, among other things, is being observed as Oral Health Month. And we've been having an extensive discussion with Dr. Irving Mckenzie, Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Whether you're a small farmer, street vendor, big investor, every entrepreneur got to wise up about your money. You have to make sure say your money secure. When you need to grow, you have access to more.
financial inclusion means that individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services that meet their needs.
Access to more money, more credit, whatever your business needs. When you work hard for your money must work for you.
Good morning, Mrs. Williams.
Morning, Ayana. I have an urgent situation I hope you can help me with.
Sit down and tell me about it. I'm sure we can help you.
My husband and I have a joint savings account with the bank, as you know.
I'm aware of that, yes.
Roger, my husband, is applying for a work permit to get a job in Japan. To go along with the work permit application, we need a detailed report of all transactions in the account for the past 3 months.
That's it? You can get that in a matter of minutes, Mrs. Williams.
Oh, I thought the bank would have to go and collate all the information and request.
The information is already in the system. The bank has a statutory obligation to keep a record of all transactions in your account.
And I can get it just like that?
All we need is a written request from you or your husband.
Will there be a cost for that?
There will be a small fee, which may be deducted from your account.
I never knew it would be that easy. You've taken a load off my mind, Ayana.
A deposit-taking institution shall, in relation to a customer, maintain records in relation to a deposit account for at least 15 years, and shall provide access to that customer or that customer's account information and the transactions conducted by that customer with the deposit-taking institution or its agent in accordance with its respective statutory obligations. That's how it is under the law.
Brought to you today by the Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Join us Wednesdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 9:55 p.m. on Power 106 FM for Under the Law.
The Caribbean Maritime University, an ISO certified institution, offers Bachelor of Science degrees in cruise shipping, Bachelor of Engineering degrees, logistics, marine tourism, port management, security administration and management, and more. For further information, call 876-924-8150, 876-924-8175, or email info@cmu.edu.jm. The Issa Manning Cup schoolboy football competition is in full swing, and Power Play will bring you live reports and updates on the football matches. Listen to every Tuesday at 7:15 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM. Live reports will be brought to you by Chada Distributors Limited, KFC, and Alice Duane and Company Limited.
Time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Paro 106 FM. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:04. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:04. 现在地点了10:04分. 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106. Our very special guest in this Oral Health Month is the Chief Dental Officer at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Irving Mckenzie. Thank you so much for spending this quality time with us, Dr. Mckenzie.
Oh, yes, you're giving us dental professionals the opportunity of sharing what we love best about health with the rest of our friends, family, and citizens, fellow citizens. Yes.
Yes. And I think you were
talking about the elderly.
Right.
Yes, I was telling you. So in Japan, they've actually found that in the 80-20 plan, which is working that as you get older, that you will maintain your dentition.
Yes.
So there's a lot of prevention and things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Persons visit their dentist often enough, at least once per year, to get all their dental needs being taken care of. So they find their population now, the aging population, have most functional teeth, and they are living longer and they are doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people begin to lose their teeth too early, that's what happens in most of our seniors. The multiple loss of teeth has a significant, what we call a deleterious effect on health. For one, it caused many of these people to avoid, our elderly, our senior citizens, to avoid eating fresh fruits and vegetables. You understand me? So, which are what we call basic and essential to a healthy diet.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to rely on eating soft foods. They may eat breads, they may eat buns, they may eat other things that are easily chewable because they're losing their dentition.
Yes.
And this eventually leads to a decline in their nutrition. And the decline in nutrition leads to a decline in their health.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Yes.
Those who lose their teeth or become toothless, or what you call in dentistry, become edentulous. It has this psychological component of them feeling embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
So the embarrassment and the loss of self-esteem, which from literature said leads to issues with loneliness and self-isolation and others. And so we say we need to remind the people across the life stages that your oral health is important to life.
Yes.
And that your teeth are important throughout your life because you need them for your nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You need them to speak, you need them to breathe. So even when you don't have teeth in your mouth, and an elderly person lie back, they'll complain even that time with their tongue rolling to the back of their mouth, feeling that they're becoming like he's having a form of sleep apnea.
Yes.
And difficulty when they lie in certain position. But with the teeth, they're able to maintain that facial height, especially lower facial turn, that lets them look young and renewed, and at the same time, it opens the airways. So your teeth is very, very important. It's a fundamental part of your craniofacial complex. And let's not face it, Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
As you and I age, there are many in our age group who at the age also look for love and companionship.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is looking for somebody who's toothless.
Yes.
You understand? It's as brutal as that.
Yeah.
So we are saying, what are some things that cause people to lose their teeth? You talk about periodontal disease. Periodontal disease and dental caries, the leading cause of people losing their teeth, are totally preventable in most cases. So prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
We can prevent these things. Part of the preventative strategy has the component of the self-care, where in terms of what we eat and what it is we do. So that self-management of checking your oral health, brushing regularly, making sure you floss at least once per day, and using a mouthwash is important. The other component is visiting a dentist, because you can't see all parts of your mouth.
Right.
And the dentist have the equipment and tool to do that examination and to provide the care. And if you're dealing with your health preventively, you're not going to spend a lot of money. But when you go and you need the implants and the denture and the other aspects that become necessary as a result of our own indiscretion, then that's when dentistry or any other health condition can lead to what is called catastrophic health expenditure. Most of us with our little jobs, we put down little things for your pension.
Yes.
We don't want to be spending millions of dollars in your later age when you like to spend that with your loved ones and your friends and probably touring the world, trying to get dentures and implants or trying to address any other health condition.
Yes.
So prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
And we are saying to people that your oral health, especially now when you talk about periodontal health, and the health of your gums, it has been so strongly and significantly associated with things like diabetes, where the WHO and other literature have shown that there's a bi-directional relationship with gum disease and diabetes, meaning it goes in both ways, where diabetes can lead to and cause periodontal gum disease, and periodontal gum disease can complicate and exacerbate, so to speak, diabetes.
Okay.
It has an impact and a good and a relationship with heart disease and even stroke. So your oral health can lead to stroke and certain heart condition. A little sore throat, which can lead to a condition called bacterial endocarditis and other issues. It's very important for us to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So our oral health also as you age, sometimes you may not have, let's say, dental issues, but the person may have other health conditions.
Yes.
And the doctors may prescribe certain medication. Understanding what the medication do is important to your oral, because some medication cause dry mouth. Okay? Some of the medication that persons take, syrup may be in those medications. So it's very important for us to know what are the medications that may cause dry mouth, and what medication can heighten the person's risk to oral diseases. And your dentist can work out a thing with your medical doctors, both evaluate and take care of your health, so that you don't risk having two problems.
Yes.
You understand me? So that your oral health is there, and you can enjoy that kind of health. And as we said earlier on, Dervan, it is time we challenge our medical colleagues and others that people have the conversation with their medical doctors. When you go do your checkup and getting a medical doctor look in your mouth, we encourage the medical doctors part of what is called the workflow. That and our other nurse practitioners thing, that they can look and assess and see what is going on. If they think that something is going on, they then refer to the dentist who do the definitive diagnosis and treatment.
Yes.
Because it is all about you. It's about me. It's about us.
Yes.
And about our health. And just exactly how much do we work? Do we really work? You understand? How much does our health really work? It works everything.
Yes. Look, we could go on for hours. Goodness. This is
essential from the womb to the tomb.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, what's let's say your priority number one for all of us listening at home and abroad going forward from henceforth this Oral Health Month and beyond? What should be priority number one at all times?
All right. Priority number one, and we call it in health promotion, moving from pre-contemplation, so we're thinking about it, begin to think about it, begin to think about your oral health in the context of your general health.
Right.
To move towards not just thinking, but to begin to address this issue. First, starting with you practicing good oral hygiene practice by brushing properly, angulate that brush properly at a 45 degree angle to the gum line of the tooth, sweeten the bottom teeth downward and going in a circular motion. Doing the same thing to the bottom teeth, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Using a fluoride toothpaste, and ensuring also that you do it for at least 2 minutes each time.
All right, we're definitely going to wrap after this break. Just pick up on the proper use of the brush and the fluoride in our teeth. Listeners, this is in Cleaning Our Teeth Oral Health Month, and what a baptism we're getting this afternoon in terms of the value that Dr. Irving Mckenzie is adding to this program this afternoon. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Thanks a lot. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:15. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4h15. Tiensai. TDN le. CDN Sure Wu Fen. 15 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people, as we wrap up our extended and extensive conversation with the Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Irving Mckenzie, in this Oral Health Month, a most appropriate time to share this kind of information. But of course, every day should be Oral Health Day for every single one of us in terms of how we approach the business of managing our mouths. So, Dr. Mckenzie, you were telling us about the circular motion of the toothbrush and just the general approach to properly cleaning the teeth.
Also, flossing is also important, as the evidence is showing too, that even if you don't get the technique all proper, using the fluoride toothpaste and spending the time 2 minutes each time will leave that kind of residual fluoride effect also in the mouth that also carries on that therapeutic value of the fluoride toothpaste. We also will join the ministry and all our nutritionists across Jamaica to encourage parents that look here, your children are too sweet to treat. You understand?
Yes.
They don't need no more sugar. You understand? With this little lovely smile and hear the children laugh and that all that sweetness.
Yes.
You know, and there's this temptation because many of us are already addicted to sugar. So that we are introducing our kids to this lifestyle of servitude and slavery, so to speak. So everything must be sweet. No. This is not necessary. You understand me?
Yes.
To getting our children to eat properly, drink water, and so on, losing that amount of sweet drinks and replacing it with water is good. For adults who who smoke, we like to tell them to avoid tobacco. Cut down on the amount of tobacco you smoke. Remember, no, I say tobacco, and I hear from my friends from the Heart Foundation that tobacco is the only legally available substance that, when used as the manufacturers prescribe, it causes your death. Can you imagine?
Wow.
So we like to tell people, cut down, lose the smoking. It's unnecessary. Those who drink alcohol, the occasional drinking of wine and certain strong drink, like also everything in moderation.
Yes.
Cut down on the alcohol. Because what we are doing in terms of oral cancer, we're planning a screening program for those who find that are smokers and drink a lot, because oral and pharyngeal cancer is high in that population. And when persons develop oral cancer, it leads to, if to try about the curative approach, is a total disfigurement of the face. The person becomes total recluse. Somebody have prostate cancer and they operate on a thing you don't know. Yeah. Or breast cancer, a lady, they do the mastectomy and so on, and people don't see it. But with oral cancer, when it caught at a very late stage and there's the attempt to do any kind of surgery, it really becomes problematic. Yeah. As a matter of fact, even though oral cancer is not as prolific in Jamaica as the rest of the cancer, probably rank about 8 or 9 in terms of the cancers that are here, the case fatality rate is so high. By the time we find most individuals with oral cancer, they die. If you find 17 in a year or 17 dying within the year, it's a very high case fatality rate. So we like to tell persons, check your mouth on occasionally and regularly, routinely. Look at the back of the tongue, see if you have any sore or ulceration in the tongue that is not healing, that is most of the time painless. It may be bleeding every now and then, but it don't cause any pain. Go to your doctor, run to your dentist, and pay attention to that. You may not pay attention to your mouth and to what's going on in your mouth, but go to your dental health professional who can examine you properly. A point to note, you can check the Dental Council website for any dentist you need, because they have all the listing of the dentists. You can check the Jamaica Dental Association. They can tell you where the membership are, or you can come to the public sector. But don't take risky behavior with your life. Not with Jamaica as well as this risk thing, this iris.
Yes.
It is not worth it. Be proud of your mouth. It is very important to your health, wellness, and happiness.
Well put.
Do it right.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mckenzie. Just before we let you go, though, are you aware of any activities outside of media interviews like this one this afternoon? Public awareness activities for the rest of the month?
Let me tell you very quickly.
Yes.
Right through the length and breadth of Jamaica, there will be activities. I can tell you off the top of my head right now, we have some activities coming up in Denhamstown and also along the boulevard with Almila Church from the 4th to the 6th. There are a group of missionaries and others with our dental team that we're doing a lot of outreach in that community. We'll be partnering with the police from Constant Spring, and we will be at the Swallowfield Primary Knowledge School in right along that Whitehall Avenue. On the 15th, with Fun in the Sun with Reverend Tommy Cohen and all of those at the Pembroke Hall High School. We'll be having a big thing there with oral health. We'll be having things at Duhaney Park, Maxfield Park. Right now, today, we had a nice thing at Franklin Town Primary School. Not only in Kingston and St. Andrew, no, we have it in St. Thomas. We have our dental team in Portland working, our team in St. Anne, our team in Manchester, St. Catherine. They're looking with Crystal Place today with some of our children. I'll be having a lot of things in St. Catherine, in Portmore, in Linstead, in Lloydesdale, and others in West Central St. Catherine. We'll also be in Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, you name it, we'll be everywhere. A team from the Jamaica Dental Association will be doing a number of also healthcare at the Good Samaritan Inn, where they're treating a lot of special needs and other persons of vulnerable population will be getting care there for about 3-4 days. And the UE Dental School will be doing a number of things in the Mona community. And we also have UTech and others that be doing a whole lot of outreaches. So, what we say, stay tuned. We'll be putting it on the Ministry of Health website and on an Instagram and others, so you can see where we have these events. If you want to know where kids be held in your neck of the woods, contact the Ministry of Health and we'll let you know. Because guess what? We are here to serve. This is our vocation. We have a passion for prevention and we love oral health. And we're saying to all Jamaicans, be proud of your mouth, right? Because it's important for your general health, well-being, and happiness.
Once again, we're grateful for your time, Dr. Mckenzie. Thank you so much. What an auspicious start to Oral Health Month. You have given us chapter, verse, and so many more ways in which we could describe the conversation we've had with you. Thank you so much. Well done. All the very best for Oral Health Month and beyond. And we look forward to following the various activities online and in elsewhere in the media.
Okay, thank you. And if you want me again, I'm available, and many of my other team members are available.
Absolutely.
So you just let us know.
We
All right?
definitely will. Thanks a lot.
Okay, we'll do.
Good.
Right.
Take care. Dr. Irving Mckenzie, Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, giving us almost a 1 hour discussion or conversation on the subject of oral health. October is Oral Health Month. And as you just heard from Dr. Irving Mckenzie, Chief Dental Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, there's quite a long list of activities for the rest of this month. So take advantage of those opportunities and take the children along as well. After all, their oral health is just as important as ours. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Lorna Foster. She says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan and all your listeners and the Power 106 family. Blessings for Power 106 crew, she says. Velma Parker says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Enough blessing to you too, Velma Parker. Sorry we missed a call from Richie Nebar. Sorry we weren't able to take your call earlier on, Richie Nebar. And also, there's a message from June, Miss June in Norway, Oslo, Norway. Says, good evening. Well, it's still afternoon here in Jamaica, but in Norway, I believe it is now, let's see, 11:27 p.m. 11:27 p.m. in Norway, and that's where June is, one of our regular listeners. She says, it is raining here too, but I cannot hear it if I do not go outside. I miss the sound of the rain on the roof. Well, look at that. Look at that. So, thank you very much for sharing with us, Miss June in Norway. And this one says, this is the one where we sent a message, conveyed a message to Princess Jada, who is right. This is from Paul in Kingston, who earlier on messaged us to say, I'm in tune today, been a while, but I'm here just giving you a shout out and also a blessing to my friend Princess Jada Brown, wishing her a productive school year. And then Paul sends us a rejoinder. He says, thanks, Sir Dervan. It feels refreshing to hear your voice, a man with a lot of knowledge to learn from by listening to your program. Thanks again for for your always interesting topics. Again, thanks as always. Thank you very much, Paul, and all the very best to Princess Jada Brown as well. Keep it going. Let's keep it flowing here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112. What's on your mind this afternoon? 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And let's give you a quick update